Ladies and gentlemen, this social media figure will make anything disappear with magic and is making strides through TikTok with a ginormous 21.5 million followers. Please welcome Sean, aka Sean Does Magic.
Hey, what's good, man? That's fire. I like it.
There you go. Yeah, nah, I was like, let me think of something cool, you know. But nah, before let's get to your magic. Let's get to all the magic stuff later. I want to ask you, just some magic questions, but we'll get into, like the influencer boxing scene because we were talking about that before, right?
Right,
Um, yeah, you were at the Misfits 008 event, right? And I want to
right,
ask, like, how long have you had like interest into like doing influencer boxing?
right. I watched my first boxing match when I was 8 years old.
Mhm.
Watching Manny Pacquiao fight. I've been a huge fan of boxing. I'm a nerd when it comes to boxing. I could tell you a
Oh,
bunch of
really?
history
Okay.
about it. I mean, I think one thing that sets me apart is I've been watching and studying this thing since I was a kid. Like I have been watching Manny Pacquiao was like my hero growing up. And so I would watch him all the time. And so when influencer boxing slowly became a thing,
Yeah.
I was, with Weller and KSI, and then obviously the Paul brothers, whatever, all of them
100%.
coming in. I knew that like this is something that one day I would be interested in, even though back then I didn't have a following. If I ever got to the opportunity to fight, I knew that before I died, I would get in the ring and I would have a fight.
Okay, that's what's up. I want to ask, right? Do you also watch other combat sports like MMA as well, UFC?
Yeah, UFC as well. Yeah,
Oh
huge
shit.
UFC fan.
Okay, dude. What is it? As of this recording, this is like a couple days before the big fights, Crawford
Right.
and Spence, and then Poirier and Gaethje, right?
Yes.
Well, who do you have for those fights?
Oh man. Okay, so Crawford and Spence, I honestly think that although I respect everything that Spence has done, and
Yeah.
he's a smart fighter. I think Crawford is just too strong for him, in my opinion. I think he's gonna land a good shot. I'm gonna do a proper prediction here. I think it'll be a 10th round stoppage by Crawford.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then what about Gaethje and Poirier? Because that's also, dude. This
I
weekend's
mean,
gonna be good, bro.
it's
For
good.
fights.
It's
I
gonna
love
it's
it.
gonna be a great fight. I don't know who I have for that, to be honest.
Okay.
You know what? I'm gonna give it to Gaethje just because I like the guy. He's a funny
That's
guy.
fair. That's fair. Yeah, no, I do like dude, Gaethje when he fights, it's been fun, like,
Yeah,
ever since, like,
100%.
dude, his whole career, a lot of his fights have been fun for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah,
Good,
but
good, good. Lots of action.
yeah, no, for sure. And I just wanna transition back a little bit to, the influencer boxing scene, right? Because your interest and everything. When you were at the Misfits Double A card, right? Um, there was also 2 other magicians that fought, right?
Yeah,
You know, um, Jack Grady won against, his opponent, right? Is that someone who you wanna fight for your first fight in the scene?
100%. I want like give me Jack Grady next. I want him. Line him up. Let's get it going. Let's get that first fight out of the way. It's gonna
Okay.
honestly, I'm really glad that Jack and Magic Crasher were able to be the first magicians in there. They're able to set the tone, and then I'll come in and I'll finish the job that the Magic Crasher wasn't able to do, and we'll get the ball rolling. I think that's a great first fight for me. I know Jack's interested in the fight, and honestly, that was actually supposed to be our fight. A lot of people don't know that me and him were supposed to fight on that card, but due to complications, I mean, I am a creator first. We had some issues with the dates and timing and whatnot,
Oh,
but now we're here and we're ready to go. Jack is coming off his first win, and we're about to take his O.
Alright, well, would you want this fight happening in, like, 009? Is that the ideal time?
We're still in talks on when this will happen, but we're thinking 009 or 10, either or. We'll take it anytime. I mean, I tweeted, I said anytime, anywhere. I don't care. It could be anywhere where it could be streamed. Let's make it happen.
Okay, fair enough. What did you think about, like, Misfits 008? Like, how'd you rate the event out of 10 and, like, everything about it? Because they had,
Yeah, I mean,
Survivor tag.
I
Mhm.
personally enjoyed it, but I know a lot of people had mixed feelings about it, especially with
Okay.
so many pullouts.
Oh, yeah, mhm.
Yeah, I mean, I got hit up the day before to potentially fight Modine, which was like I haven't trained for the last few months. Like it was like crazy. Like it was desperate to that point where they needed to fill for anyone who had any knowledge or stepped into the ring at all, hit pads at all. Like they were asking if they wanted to fight. And it got a little bit, disorganized because of how many people were pulling out. A lot of things were happening. I know Alex Stein got canceled for like what he did, and a lot of stuff was going on.
Yeah.
And so although I would say that I personally enjoyed the event, I know that it was probably the least amount of fights on one card and probably the quickest fight card that Misfits has ever put on. But for what complications came up, I think it was a decent event.
Yeah. Well, what did you think about like all the gimmicks that they done, like with the Survivor tag and like tag team, like
Yeah,
Survivor tag was his first that like we've seen, right? So
right.
how did you see that live in person?
It was cool. I think that there was a few things that need to be changed. I think a lot of people are talking about how short the round, like 4 rounds, especially when you have 4 different fighters with 4 different gas tanks. 4 rounds is definitely way too short, in my opinion. But I also do want to say that it was cool. I mean, there was always action, like the whole time. People were swinging the whole time. I mean, with those kind of fights, there's not really a feel out process. You kind of just go. There's not much strategy. You just kind of make the miss, and just let your hands go.
Okay.
And so it was a lot of action. I think there should be more added rules, like maybe not as many tag outs. It makes it really easy as soon as you're gassed to just tag out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think a few more changes and a few more tweaks, and it'll be a really, really successful addition to influencer boxing.
Okay. And what is it? One thing I talked to Mams about what is it on his space. I asked him like, the last 20 seconds of that round or last 30 seconds, you can't tag out like at any point.
I like that idea. I think that that's a phenomenal idea.
Because like last 30 seconds is like the most important, right? See how they
Right.
do,
Right.
doesn't matter if you're like gassed or not. I think it's just like they'd go, guns blazing, Yeah, and I want to talk about one other thing too. When you're down in Tennessee, you're also in Fuzi Tube stream, right?
That is correct.
Yusuf, I should say. He doesn't want to go by Fuzi Tube. How was it like meeting Yusuf?
That was really cool. For a lot of people don't know this, but I grew up a huge fan of Yusuf. Like him, Roman Atwood, they went on tour when I was like 12 or 13, and they
Mhm.
toured around the world. And I actually went to their tour when I was a kid. And I
That's
remember
dope.
watching him on stage, and I was like a huge fan. He inspired me. His videos inspired me. He always teaching people to motivate themselves and push themselves past their limit. And being able to be in the space now today and be friends with a lot of these people and like especially meet my heroes and whatnot, it was really cool. I mean, if you told my 13-year-old self that I would be doing magic on stream and he'd be saying things like I'm the greatest magician he's ever seen, or stuff like that, I'd have been like, there's no way. That's such a full circle moment for me. And it's really sick.
That's great. Yeah, no, that's sick, dude, for sure. I've also like watched both of them too, along with so many YouTubers, like when I was
Right.
like little, right? And what is it? Yeah, it's just crazy to like just even hearing it from you, it's really, surreal for you just to, even doing something that you love, which is magic, which we'll get to later,
Right.
that you could do in front of, someone that you've looked up to. And lastly, just one thing about the influencer boxing scene. Who's like someone like a dream fight you'd want to go against?
Oh man. I don't know. That's a tough one. To be honest, I've had my sights ahead of like where I want to go in the magic world. I mean,
Yeah.
I saw the magic, the magicians. Those were really the only two that's really crossed my mind. That's a great question. I haven't really thought about it. I think I really honestly want to get my first fight out of the way, see where
Yeah.
I'm at, because I've never stepped into the ring and done like
Mhm.
an amateur fight or any professional fight or anything. So
Oh, okay.
I need
That's
to see
fair.
where I'm at. I'm not I'm optimistic, but I'm not delusional. I'm not gonna call out Salt Poppy, which fun fact, he asked if I wanted to fight because we're both Filipino. The Josh Bruckner fight, he prior to him signing with Josh Bruckner, he asked me if I was interested in that, which again, I'm not delusional. Like he's
Yeah.
like levels above. He's been doing this for like well over a year more than I
Yeah.
have. And so we'll see where I'm at come 09 or 10. And then we'll see who I want next. But I think that I with commitment, I have the ability to make an impact on the scene.
Okay. That's what's up. No, What have you thought of like any like because Mams and the whole missus they've always talked about promoting this, promoting that, right? Have you thought about any ideas that like you want to implement when you get your first fight, like especially
Oh,
with
what?
promotion?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, a lot of people don't know this, but like back before I was doing magic, like we used to run diss tracks, man. I used to run Rice Gum like type videos. I mean, this was far before you could probably still find them, if
Okay,
you went searching for them. But I used to like my friend group loved doing just like this is when I had like 1,000 subscribers. And music and like rap and whatnot was like a huge part of like my first video. I mean, I literally did a rap for my first ever YouTube video.
oh that's
A lot of
dope.
people
Mhm.
didn't even know that, but I love that kind of stuff. And I think we are gonna have probably I will say this firsthand, we'll have one of the most successful promotions for our fight when it does come out. For me and
Okay,
Jack.
that's dope. I didn't know you rap. Okay, have you? Is that something you've done like even since when you were little?
Well, it's all just for fun, to be honest. But
Okay, that's fair.
I've always loved that side. I mean, I think about OG Rice, KSI, Jake, Logan, like that
Yeah,
era. I think that was one of the most fun eras of
that
YouTube.
was good.
I
hundred
think it was
percent.
just very fun. And I think we can bring that back during this time. And yeah, I mean, I know that they brought it back for Misfits Manor. They had all of the guys do diss tracks for this 008. And it was interesting, but I think we can make this really cool.
Yeah, that no, for sure. I really like the Misfits Manor stuff. They really, dude. I think they should implement that like more for sure. I really enjoyed all
100%.
the episodes.
100%.
Yeah. All right, but yeah. If there's anything you want to say, like anything you want to bring about influencer boxing, anyone you want to call out, like this is like a perfect time, you know.
Yeah, I mean, if Jack is listening to this, I mean, you can prepare all you want. You can train all you want. But I'm
Okay.
sorry. When it comes time, like I know I'm a nice guy. We love making wholesome content, but like when we get into that ring,
Hmm.
I apologize in advance, man.
Okay. That's the message, you know. Now, I wanna get into like your magic, right? How did
100%.
you get into all these like magic tricks? How long ago did you do it? What's the story behind that?
Yeah, yeah. So I've been doing magic ever since I was 6 years old. I feel like every kid learns a magic trick when they're younger. And I was 6 years old. I learned a magic trick and I just got hooked with it. As corny as it sounds, magic is like one of the most unique art forms, in my opinion. Like you give people the ability to believe that anything is possible. You make, a card teleport or something float, or you cut someone in half. That person who's in awe believes that anything is possible in that moment. I think that's what makes magic just such a unique art form. And I got hooked by it since I was a kid. I've been performing ever since I was 6 years old to anybody who would watch. And alongside with posting on YouTube, mix the two together, and we're here.
That's crazy. No, for sure. You know what's funny? When I was also like little too, I used to do like it was I didn't do a lot of it, but I did like I knew like probably like I said like 4 to 5 like card tricks when I was little,
That's
and
fine.
like I would it'd be funny 'cause I showed it to my friends, and then they'd be like, "What the hell? Like, how'd you do that?" And I would go to this YouTube channel, right? And it was called I don't know if you I don't know how you got taught like any like tricks at all, but there's this one YouTube channel called Miss Mag. It's like Miss Mag
Mhm.
card tricks or something like that, right? And it would be like these easy tutorials, and I would just memorize that, and I'm like, all right, perfect. Here you go.
It's funny you say that. Ms. Mag is the person who taught me all of the basics of magic. Like
Oh,
he is
really?
he's the
Okay.
guy that
Mhm.
taught me everything. When I was a kid, I used to go home, look up his videos, and just learn everything. He taught me everything. And then 3 years ago, he followed me, which I was for me was like the like most like we did it. We did it. Like this is the guy who's taught me everything, and now he's watching my content. And
That's hype.
so I hope he's still doing well. I know he's like a little bit older of a guy.
Yeah.
When he was making his videos, he hasn't posted in 3 years. So I hope
Yeah,
he's
I
doing
know.
well, Ms.
I
Mag.
know. I know. I checked his channel to see like, yo, is he like when's the last time he uploaded? I'm like, bro, it's been 3 years. It's crazy. Cause
No,
like I even it's the same shit. Like I was don't get me wrong, I was never like too deep into like this like magic tricks or anything like that. I just only knew a few and I would like watch it to see if I could do it. And then yeah, it was just like a little bit of my childhood where I'm like like somewhere in like fifth grade or something, and I'd be
Mhm.
like, oh shoot, like let me see if I could do that. Like let me see if
Right.
I could do
Facts.
this. You
Yeah.
know?
Same here. Same here.
Yeah, seriously. So it's like, yeah. What w- what's your favorite magic trick that you've like done? You know what I mean? Like what's something that you
Yeah.
always like doing?
My all-time favorite magic trick, and it's one that I actually performed for Fusi, for Yusuf on his stream. I do this trick where I have him pick a card. I lose into the middle of the deck, and then I put all the cards in my mouth, and then I slowly just cough out like the actual card that they picked. It's my all-time favorite card trick that I perform. Honestly, my all-time favorite magic trick that I perform. It's so killer. I'll have to perform it for you in person, man.
Dude, that would be dope. That would be dope. I hopefully, I'll be up in what is it? It won't be anytime won't soon yet because I haven't scheduled it, but like I'm planning on going to LA like sometime though for sure. That'd be
Yeah, let
sick.
me
That'd be
know.
sick to do. All right, sounds good for sure, for sure. But what about like what's been your best reaction that you've gotten from like a trick? It could be
Oh
from,
man.
when you were in school and like some kid like, was freaking out on TikTok or going to like, doing like,
Yeah, my
celebrity.
first
What's the best
ever
reaction?
viral video. I had my first ever viral video when in 2017.
Okay.
And it was me right outside of our high school. There was just a soccer game going on. And then after the soccer game, everyone was leaving. And someone, sorry,
Oh no, you're good. Don't worry about it.
my fault. After the soccer game, someone came up to me and was like, "Can you do a magic trick?" I started doing magic. A crowd forms. I'll send you this clip, and I start doing
Okay.
magic for this huge crowd. As soon as the trick ends, everyone around freaks out. That video gets posted, and it was my first video to hit 10 million views. And that video just went viral, went on so many different meme pages, different Instagram accounts reposted it. I mean, it did really well on my page as well. First video over a million, first video up to 10 million. And that is probably the best reaction I've ever gotten. And I'll send it to
That's
you.
dope. That's dope. That's hella dope. What about what is it? I know we were talking about this earlier. It was I was gonna say, is there any like magicians that you've idolized? Was Miss Mag someone that you've looked up to in doing all this?
100%. I also love David Blaine. David Blaine did something really unique. He took magic that
Okay.
was originally on stage and, with your top hats and all of this, and he took it to street where he was just wearing street clothes and he just went to do street magic, and he brought it to TV. He took magic that was originally on stage to TV. And I
Mhm.
resonate with that because I feel like the next generation of magicians are taking it from TV and stage and bringing it onto your phone on social media. And
Okay.
I feel like we're doing the same wave that kind of like what David Blaine and Chris Angel did, where they brought it to TV. Well, now we're bringing it straight to your phone, and kind of not like on some cocky shit, but like being more like, trying to revolutionize the way that people consume magic and see magic in the world.
Fair enough. Do you have like I want to ask, like, what's like your Mount Rushmore for like magicians? Like, if you'd have to pick like four magicians to be on that like big mountain, who would it
Yeah,
be?
that's a good question. Jack Gray. No, no. I would put no, he's a great magician. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna sit here and lie. Like they're great. Magic Crasher, all of them great performers. They're amazing.
Yes, of course, of
Um
course.
I would definitely put Harry Houdini. You got to put him up there just because he's like kind of like the first magician to make a name for himself. He did escapes and whatnot. So Harry Houdini, I put David Blaine up there. I'd probably put David Copperfield, and then I want to one day put myself up there, but I can't yet.
That's respectable. Hey, that's good.
I'm not I'm not up there yet. I would say
Okay.
I think the last one is whoever excels in this generation. That's the last one. So
Okay.
whoever in that last bubble, the person who in the history books of this generation, that will be the last one on there. And hopefully
Okay.
it's me.
That's fair. You know what? That's respectable for sure. I actually just thought of this. I remember same thing when I was little. I remember watching the like it was like the stunt performances where like they get like they're in the scenario where like let's say for an example, I saw one where they're in the box and the sand has to pour and
Right,
they have to
right.
escape it, right? And then they'll do like the performance and they'll get out, right? What this channel, I forgot what it's called now. Hopefully you would know where they would do that, and then after they'll show like what do you do, like what's the stunt performance out of it. You know what I'm
Yes.
talking about? What is
Yes.
that called?
Is it Masked Magician? Is it something like that? Or
I don't, dude. This is It's hurting my head because I'm trying to. Okay, I'm gonna look it up now because I swear I was just thinking about this. I'm like, dude, I could have sworn there was like a TV show where they would show like all the what is it like um what's the
Secret.
word? Yeah, like all the secrets to like.
Yeah, it's probably Masked Magician. Masked Magician.
Okay, it was like pretty old. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. That's what it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know why I just thought of that, and I was like, shit, because I remember like I remember my brother and I we would also sit in the computer and we would watch that and we're like, what the hell? That's crazy. Because I think it was like after like seeing I think it was like after seeing one of like America's Got Talent or whatever, and
Right, right.
yeah, it was like all that. So I don't
That's
know
cool, man. Yeah, he's
for sure.
he's dope.
Yeah. What is it? I want to even ask just like even your journey to becoming like this, being like famous on TikTok, just even your rise through social media, right? How has that journey been? Just
Oh
explain
man.
all that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I started posting YouTube videos when I was 9. A lot of people, you know, think that it's like something that's like, a lot of people think that being a content creator or like making content is, kind of like an easy job. And I always have, the outlying opinion that a lot of people hate. I always say this, but I think it's one of the toughest jobs in the world because you're
Mhm.
not just filming a video. You're filming when you're first starting, you're filming, you're editing, you're creative, you're a writer. You have to produce, you have to make all the shots, you're a director. Like
Yeah.
it is one of the most difficult things. And I started when I was 9 and I was very blessed by the idea. I was able to find what I was passionate in and work on it since I was a little kid. I Every single month since I was 9, I posted a video. I was posting and after 4 years, I grew to 1,000 subscribers. Like that, I knew I was passionate about it because I wasn't making money. I wasn't doing anything. I was 9, right? 9 to 13. I was just posting for fun. I grew to 1,000 subscribers, and over that period of time, I was able to, get my hours of learning how to edit, learning how to make videos, come up with creative ideas and whatnot. And I knew that one day I wanted to make this into a living. And so from freshman year of high school, when I was 14 years old, up to senior year, I kind of made it my mission. I was so determined to, by the time I graduated, to have a platform for myself. I remember when I was first going into high school, the very first assignment I was ever given was in English class, and they said, write a letter to your senior self. And I still have this letter till this day. But
That's
on that
high.
letter, they I wrote on there, I said, I currently have 800 subscribers on YouTube, 1,000 on Instagram. By the time I open this letter, I will have enough followers and I have a big enough following to be able to move to LA. That's what I wrote for myself. So I had 800 at the time. When I opened that letter, I had 12 million on TikTok and well over 100,000 on Instagram and YouTube and whatnot, all of that stuff. And I moved to LA, later that year after graduating. And that it's kind of just like, when I talk to people about this, it's like, since I was 9, man, since I was 9, I've been dedicated, I've been at it, and I've been, knew I wanted to do this.
Dude, that's what's up. That's seriously like
Appreciate
that
it,
gave me a
man.
little bit of chills. That's crazy.
Appreciate
Even
it.
did you have like what did you have an alternative? Like like just
No,
oh yeah, no alternative. Just you want to do that? That's
no,
fair. You
bro.
know what?
I knew I
Fair.
wanted it. I would fight with my parents all the time about it. They wanted me to go to college. I grew up, my parents were immigrants. They didn't, bro. Like it's easy to like look at like the stuff now and be like, oh, this guy's got it so well. Like, I did not have it so well growing up, bro. Like
Mhm.
we're on food stamps. That's truth. That is truth. We're on
Shit,
food
bro.
stamps. My dad got laid off. Like we were on it. Like and we were bouncing around. We were living with other friends places. We'd all share one bedroom. This is legit, like dead ass. And my parents, when they heard that I wanted to do social media, we were just getting back on our feet, and trying to figure out where, how we can like continue to thrive and whatnot. And when I told them that, fuck, it was tough. It was tough. It's like, really, you want to do this career instead of go to college and like have
Mhm.
like a foreseeable future? Like this is
Yeah.
a risk. But I knew that I wanted it, and I took those 4 years to heart. I put my head down. And I mean, I just think a lot of people aren't willing to do this. This is why it's like it's tough. But I put my head down for 4 years and I said, let me go. I'm not gonna I would put deadlines for myself. I would not go to bed until I had 2 TikToks up or 2 Instagram videos up or whatever. I write out ideas for the month. And I just put my head down and I just got at it. And I will tell you, there's no mistake that I opened that letter with 12 million. I worked my ass off in those 4 years. And I think, a lot of people want it as a job to be able to do this for a living. It's a lot of work. It is.
For sure. And I could kind of relate my like what is it? But both my parents are also I mean they were immigrants. They got their citizenship like quite a while ago, to be honest.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
they did come from like India to like here. And I
Right.
could understand, I could relate about like the culture stuff too, because like
Right.
they're also
100%.
heavy with like college and stuff. I'm currently in college as well.
Yeah.
Also, like even I've said this in other interviews, like I'm in college while working and doing this shit. So it's like,
Right. Right.
what
Right.
is it? I don't work too much now because like it's a long story. Long story short, like I at the place where I work at, I can go through an app and pick up a shift. So I'm
Oh,
like
gotcha.
perfect.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
I'm like perfect. I'm glad that like I could just kind of do that my own time as well. But yeah, no. So like I can kind of relate in which like they're very heavy about like school or they're
Right.
pretty heavy about like getting a job this and everything. But thankfully, right, they've been getting a lot better in which like they really cheer me on and like hoping this like thing works out. And
Mhm.
when you're talking about getting like thousand like when you got your first 1,000 subscribers, I haven't gotten that yet, but like but
Only a matter of time, man. Only a
whenever, yeah,
matter of time.
especially like, whenever I get to that, that'll be like that'll be really like that'll be like a really good feeling, for sure. Because like
Oh yeah.
what you're saying right now, it's like it can't like it really this actually really motivates me. What the fuck? But it's crazy. I just want to say like your story is sick. Your story is
Thank
really
you,
sick
man.
about
Thank you.
that,
Thank you.
of
Thank
course.
you, bro.
And this is like another thing because like I didn't know I was gonna. Whoa, the camera just like blurred.
Yeah. There you go.
No, because like with this, I never knew I wanted to interview like people, right?
Right.
And it's like one thing. It's like you see them on camera. Let's say like with KSI, you just see him with like the what he does, like all the Reddit videos, right? But
Yeah.
I always like to talk about like I always want to talk to people and just be like how they are, either behind the scenes and like what how was it like when they were a kid growing up and everything like that. So it's like it's
Right.
really cool hearing about. It's really cool talking to people about that. Seriously. So it's like, and
Thank you, man. Appreciate
and
it.
this is a perfect question that goes into what we're talking about, right? It's like every time you post, right? Is there always like, a message, a goal, like a motive that you have to your audience? And like, if you do, like, what is it?
Um, a lot of the times when I post, I think the underlying thing with all of it, I mean,
Yeah.
if you look at a lot of my content, it's just have fun, man. Have fun with your life. Like, I feel like we live in like if you look at anywhere, like it's just
Mhm.
so much stress, negativity, and all just things that like take away from the happiness and joy of life. And I think a lot of my content kind of I try to bring any amount of that back. Whether it is a magic video, whether it's on Omegle, challenging
Yeah.
people that call their crush or like I don't know whatever the content might be that we do, like it's just like we always have the underlying goal of being able to just bring a little bit of that joy back to a world that's filled with a lot of negativity and sadness and grief. And I mean, I feel like everyone's fighting everyone today. And I feel like a lot of the content today that needs to be pumped out a little bit more is, just that happiness, the good vibes, the happy, like there is
Yeah.
so much good stuff in life. We just need to find it.
100%. Yeah. No, I get that. Whenever, it's crazy because like whenever I like, because you're not wrong with what you said about like this world's like with like a whole bunch of negativity and stuff, right? And what's perfect is like whenever like I want to take a break from just like everything. There's like three things that always distracts me from that, which is perfect, right? Hanging out with friends, video games, and
Yeah.
then going on social media, watching other people do their
Facts.
thing, right? And it's like literally these three things. Actually, also playing basketball too is the other part as well. Like if I want to play pickleball, like a few of my
Yeah.
friends,
Come
it's just
hoop in LA sometime, man.
dude, that'd be hype. That'd be
Run it.
hype,
Let's run
bro.
it.
I
Yeah.
be
I'm
so
good
down.
friends with a lot of like the basketball people, like Jesser and them. So
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
come
No,
through,
that's
come
what's
through.
up. Even dude, like I said, I don't mind. It doesn't matter who I play with. I just want to play. I just want to play basketball. I'm not the
Yeah.
best at it. I'm not the best at it, but like, listen,
Me
I just
neither,
want to play
bro.
the
Me
ball.
neither. I just work here.
That's fair. That's fair. You know what I mean? But yeah, nah. And so it's like I agree with that a lot, seriously, because like trust me, sometimes this role it could really be hard, and it's like yeah, and it's like I'm glad that that's also like your goal and message, right? It's just like you just want to make people feel happy. I respect that a lot, seriously.
Appreciate it, man.
What's like what about what's been your like biggest lesson throughout this whole journey? Maybe it's something you find yourself, something you want to tell others. What is it?
This is gonna sound like the corniest thing out of like the corniest Facebook post. But
Yeah.
nah, the number one lesson that I've learned and has stuck with me is like you gotta believe in yourself so much that other people will believe you. Like the number one thing that you need to have if you have any goal or dream is like you need to genuinely in your brain believe that you can do whatever you have set in front of you, because that is the one thing. A lot of people go into having these goals and they don't even believe in themselves. If you don't believe in themselves, no one else is going to rally for you,
Yeah.
and so you just need to whatever you need to do to get to that point where you believe that you can do whatever goal you have in front of you. That's what you need to do. And I think believing in yourself is important. I made a video about this, but my favorite quote of all time is the quote that when a bird lands on a branch, it has no fear, not because of the belief in its branch, but because of the belief in its own wings. And so no matter what, obviously, no matter where a bird lands, it knows that it can fly. And I think that anybody watching or anybody who has a goal needs to be able to say that for themselves. No matter what you set in front of yourself, you can fly and you can succeed. And I think once you got that in your head, you can do anything. I will say that till the day I die. I mean, I'm not built like a boxer, but I'm gonna go in there, Misfits 09, Misfits 10, and I'm gonna look like a damn boxer. Like I'm gonna do that. I'm not built like a basketball player, but when I get on the goddamn court, I will cross you out. Like it's no matter what, it's like that belief in yourself. And I think everybody should have that 100%. That's the number one lesson I've learned.
Okay. That's for sure. That yeah, I don't know what more to say about that. I think that's a really good quote for sure. Yeah, I don't know what to say about that. That's good. I don't know.
Thank
There's
you.
no complaints. That's real. That's real. So like,
100%.
yeah, I got one last thing, right?
All right.
I was gonna ask if it's too much. Don't worry about it.
No worries.
Honestly, could you do a magic trick on this interview?
I got you. And you,
No
what?
way. Okay, bro,
I
that's
got you.
hype. That's
Give me a
hype. That's
sec. Give me
hype.
a sec. Give me a sec. Hold up. I just need to grab my.
Hi, man.
I didn't have like a deck of cards on me, but I got you. I'll grab one.
No worries, dude. It could be anything, bro. It could be anything. Don't worry about it.
Okay,
Something
fine.
some of you think is gonna be shocking.
But yeah, no worries.
All right.
All right.
Good.
Deck of cards. Deck of cards are right, different numbers, letters.
Okay.
We'll shuffle it up. Do me a favor as you just say stop somewhere random.
All right. Stop.
Go memorize the card for me. You got it?
All right. Got it.
Okay, I'm gonna lose it to the middle of the deck. So you know the thing that magicians do called sleight of hand, right?
Okay.
You're familiar with sleight of hand. You've seen a magic trick before. You've seen sleight of hand and whatnot, right?
Okay. Yeah.
There's this thing that I like doing called sleight of mouth. Watch closely. Take
Okay.
it. Watch. Take the deck of cards. I'm gonna find your card with my mouth. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Nah, not it. Bro, what the? Nah, that's crazy, bro. What the fuck? Nah.
One card only. Hey, if I get this right, you have
What?
to hit that like and subscribe. The 5 of hearts. Is that it?
Yeah. What the fuck? Nah, ain't no way, bro. Hold up. Look at my chair. This ain't even my chair. I feel bad.
That's so funny.
Nah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Okay.
Thank you, bro.
Nah, that's nuts. Okay.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Nah, that's sick, man. You know what? And listen, we'll wrap it up here. I think that's a good ending. That's a very good ending.
Fire, man.
Hey, you know what? If you want to shout out your social media, or if there's any announcements you want to say,
Yeah.
perfect times now.
Yeah. All I ask is if you're on here and you want to see me beat Jack Grady on Misfits 09 or 10, go check it out. Go peep my socials. I will be promoting it. Sean is Magic. And yeah, Jack Grady, coming for you.
All right. Yeah, we'll wrap it up right here. Everyone that's listened, this far into the interview. The goal for the end of the year is to get to 1,000 subscribers.
That's
Right?
light.
Just
You'll hit that in 1 month. I
1
guarantee
month.
you.
All right. I appreciate that, seriously. Even what is it? Yuddy Gang TV. I don't know if you Elijah.
Yeah.
He told me that like because I'm at like 130 right now, but he said that like, oh, end of the year you'll get 10K. And I'm like, all right, man, we'll see.
No, that's bro. That's easy. I got bro. Hit me up. I'll tell you anything that I know. I'll let you know any like stuff. There's I can always I help a lot of creators.
Okay, yeah, we can talk off camera for sure. And yeah, so you know what? That's the goal I've had since the beginning of the year, get to 1,000, right, and all that.
Easy,
So
easy.
if you guys really enjoy this interview, please subscribe, right? I always like talking to creators such as Sean Does Magic.
Man.
Dope. You're the actually, it's crazy. You're the first creator that like I've had on that like doesn't really do is not really primarily like influencer boxing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Doing other stuff, so and I respect that for sure. All right, I'll
For
see you
sure,
guys on
man.
the next video. Peace.